Hello everyone. So let's talk about another concept which is like how to create streaming applications. Streaming means, as you know, when the large language models generate the response that is token by token. And if you want to show the response from the LLMs in the form of streaming, then your UI should also be supporting that functionality, meaning when the token by token response is generated by our large language models, then our UI methods, okay, our Streamlit should also have that capability so that it can also show the user token by token. All right, so what I have to do, I'm not changing the last coding part. What I will do is I will just add another method. So let me bring the method for messages, user input. Okay. So what I'm doing is so this is another method or a function which I have added, which will do what? It will take the user input. So when our application will start, user is going to ask its question. So that question is passed to the large language model. So in order to emulate same thing, what we are doing is we are generating that token by token response with the help of this custom function. Okay. So I have written this function which is like generate underscore response. When the user asks any question, its input will be captured and it will be this method will be invoked. So what this method will do, it will take that user input and then, but in this method, we are not using this user input, rather we are just creating that response. Okay. We are just mimicking. Okay. So this is a mock function. So I have taken one string, multi-line string. So this is my response. So we are just emulating, let's say this is the response from our large language model. Now what we will do is we will take, we have this for loop. This for loop will basically yield the this particular string token by token or word by word. Okay, so here it is word by word. So this is for token in response dot split. It will split by the space and then it will sleep for 1.01 second and then it will yield the token. Okay, so let me import time. Okay, yeah. So I have imported this time, and when I will invoke this function, it will yield word by word. Okay, yield word by word means it will produce output word by word. All right. So now from where I need to call this is, okay, I need to remove this line because now the bot response is not hard coded, rather it's coming from that function. So I need to call that function. So what I will do, I will write something. Let me delete. So what I'm doing is, this is my user input. User will put some input. If that is not empty, I will show the user input on the screen. At the same time, I will be saving that user input in my session state. Next, with st.chat message AI response generator. Now, what inside chat message.ai for showing the AI message, I am calling this generate response function, which I just defined. This user input will be passed to my function, which will yield the response token by token that will be collected in the response generator. And then what I need to do is I need to use this component, this widget st.write underscore stream. So this is the widget which we are actually trying to learn, which we are learning in this particular session, this lecture. That in Streamlit we have something called st.write underscore stream, which we can use to stream our response. So I have given the this response generator as an input, and what it will do, it will show the response on the UI token by token. At the same time, I can collect this in the response variable, and instead of, so now I can remove this line, and instead of saving, how I need to append this, I need to append this response object in the bot response. Okay. So when it is streaming token by token, in the end, what will happen? This response will have the full response, the full text which is there. This one, this multi-line message will be there in the response, and I will be saving this response object into my session state. Let's see if it's working. Rerun, or maybe let me rerun the entire application. My first message, what is happening is now you can see the streaming. Okay, looking good. So when I given my input, my first message, that was taken, and then I invoked my response generator, generate response function, which instead of using this my input, we have some response string, and that string is basically yielded token by token, word by word. And this st dot write underscore stream is the widget, the component which we will be using to replicate, or to emulate the streaming. Okay, so this is how it works. If you have any questions, feel free to write in the comments. Thanks.